And so it begins. An offseason of questions, answers we don't have yet, dysfunction, a mind-blowing article that got put out an hour after the game ended. Kobe's yelling at JB. Allen didn't take the shot. Mobley's people try to tell the Cavs don't draft him. Darius Garland. I've got trade scenarios left and right now for Donovan Mitchell. And it's all off the heels of you exiting the playoffs. You get the gentleman's sweep from the Celtics. And so it begins. And so it begins. On one of the most pivotal off seasons for the Cavs since LeBron. Since LeBron. And I even go back to, Ryan, this off season might actually be more important than any of the off seasons that was here with LeBron, because you had LeBron. I know the off season they traded away Kyrie Irving was a big one. I know the off season getting LeBron back. I try to go back to that off season of getting LeBron back. I feel like this is the most important one the Cavs have had since that. But it's kind of the opposite. That was a big offseason because you got a star player to come back, because you got Kevin Love to come here, and you would go off to win a championship. Since then, it's been a little LeBron, it's been a little rebuilding, but now the state of that franchise, the state of my basketball team hangs in the balance, and I don't know where it's going to go. There is no easy path to navigate this. There's decisions to be made outside of the power of Kobe Altman. There's decisions to be made within the power of Kobe Altman, the power of Dan Gilbert. And now the drama starts to leak on out. I would like to just do the schedule game for 2 hours here this morning. The bye, the only thing I cared about. Right in the middle, baby. 4 primetime games for the Browns. We have a ton of Cavs to get to this morning. We'll mix in some guards. We got the PGA underway, the bracket, the grid, the morning update. We're here to vent with you as well this morning on a Thursday edition right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Ryan Tyler. Oh, man. All right. You know, I really did want to start by looking at the season, because we're what, not even 12 hours removed, and there's discussions about how the season went, all that, but you get this Shams article right after on The Athletic. I'm sure everybody's seen the Cliff Notes. If not, you've read the article. There's important pieces we have to read through on that. Jason Lloyd, Joe Varden on that article as well, and it paints the picture of really where the Cavs are at. And I think we all had a sense and an idea of, I don't want to say how bad things were, but you knew what this offseason was going to be. And a lot of it was predicated on what Donovan Mitchell is going to do. You sprinkle in the clear dysfunction with JB and Kobe Altman. There's part of the article, Kobe Altman went into JB's office and berated him about how many minutes he was playing Donovan Mitchell. That was during the season. So obviously there's a disconnect there. I don't even know if I want to spend a lot of time on JB Bickerstaff. He's not going to be the coach of the Cavs moving forward. I don't take joy in saying that. I like JB Bickerstaff. It has become apparent he has taken this team as far as he can. There are rifts in that organization with him, and he will be coaching somewhere else next year. And in fact, I think there's already reports out the entire staff is going to go. Okay, so be it. And I've said that for a long time. You cross the line of no return, and JB will not be returning. Okay, we move on from there. The other piece is a Shams article that really, okay, I'm going to go piece by piece, because there were probably 4 major things when it comes to Sham Charania's article last night. Again, Joe Varden and Jason Lloyd in on that yesterday in The Athletic. Number 1 was, in my opinion, kind of JB's status. And that wasn't even so much something that was a shock. Like, I think we all kind of had the idea he probably wasn't going to be back here. But number 1, that the team was doubting him. They were doubting him after last year. There were parts of this season. Yeah, you went on that amazing streak when Mobley and Garland were out. You thought, okay, maybe he's turning the ship. The way that it ended, the way that it's gone, number 1, yes, JB Bickerstaff will not be here. Number 2, this Jarrett Allen not getting the injection. So part of the article, as we know, that Jarrett Allen's been battling a rib injury. They said a pierce in the rib. And that just sounds painful. But that some in the organization weren't happy with Allen that he refused an injection to dull the pain and potentially get in there and play. That gets so dicey for me. I live in a naive world when it comes to this. I believe that millionaire athletes that are as competitive as they are, if they can play, they're going to play, and especially in the playoffs. If Jared Allen and the people around him felt like that injection was not a good idea, I will not argue that. I am not sitting here to say, put your big boy pants on and get on out there. That is none of my business. That is between him, the medical people, and at the end of the day, it's his decision. Okay, so he decided to not get the injection. Now, the other side of it, the players, if they want to take an issue with it, I'm not out there playing. I'm not out there sacrificing myself and trying to play the game. So if they have an issue with it, that's fair, that's fine. I frankly have no commentary on the Jared Allen injection thing. None of my business. And I think it gets dangerous when people start to try to tell athletes what they should or shouldn't do with their body. The Mobley, so that's number one and number two. Number one, JB status, the injection with Jared Allen. Then we get to Evan Mobley. And there's a report in here that his reps told the Cavs, don't draft him. He wants to go to the Thunder. Another thing, Ryan, I have no issue with. Agents do that all the time. He supposedly wanted to go to the Thunder.
To me, that's the one piece in the article that felt like an unnecessary abundance to chaos. That happens with players all the time. Yes. And we see players go to a team that they maybe didn't want to get drafted to, and they realize, hey, this is a place actually I'm enjoying being.
Right.
It's good for my development. I want to be a part of this team now.
Right.
So that I took with a grain of salt. I thought just added sustenance for no reason.
I completely agree with you on that. That happens. He could like it here. What development we have actually seen from him in this series against the Celtics. He is part of your future moving forward, like it or not. And hey, if he really wants to leave, then don't sign the rookie extension they're going to offer him. That's up to you, man. You do what you want. I don't care. Darius Garland, yes, will very clearly seek a trade if Donovan Mitchell comes back. And in fact, the Cavs will trade him if Donovan Mitchell comes back. That clearly doesn't work. On the level of frustration that I have with Darius Garland, I can't even calculate it right now. And I hate it because I know he doesn't want it to be that way. I know he got smacked in the face again yesterday. And it's become apparent, I don't think it's going to work here. Almost to a point, even if Donovan Mitchell leaves. And we're saving that for last. Even if Donovan Mitchell leaves, you can't trade away everybody. You got to have somebody here to play. And if the Cavs want to put their eggs in their basket, that this season was just an unmitigated disaster for Darius Garland, and an offseason will help him recalibrate and get him back to the player that signed the richest contract in franchise history, then you do not move on from him. I have serious questions with that. Where I've seen players, when they get broken, like Darius Garland is broken, sometimes the only fix is a new spot, a new team. Because the pressure will continue to mount on Garland and all eyes are going to be on him. And at the end of the day, too, who else is going to trade for him? There could be some team out there that falls in love with Darius Garland and they take the same exact road that I just laid out. He'll be better here. That stuff was in Cleveland. He needs to get the hell away from Cleveland. He'll be fine over here. And somebody could try to take on that contract. But we all saw how he played. My biggest issue with Garland, specifically in the playoffs, but even regular season, whatever, I never saw him take the reins. I never saw him say, this is now my opportunity to take this team over. What did he have last night? 9 points? Maybe finished with 11? I don't even remember. But like, to have games like that, where, yes, he's making the right plays and he's dishing off assists. And I know real X's and O's basketball people would yell at me and say he made the right play. I want him to take the Donovan role, take every freaking shot. Because if you don't, we have no prayer in this game. I needed him to step up and say, I'm going to take the reins. This is now my... what movie was that when he walks in and he goes, my ship now? Or I'm the captain now.
Oh,
you know
Captain
what I'm talking about. Yeah, whatever it is. I'm the captain now. I wanted Darius to do that. I wanted him to say, this is my team now. I'm going to take this over, and I'm going to try to get us to a win. I'd rather go down that way. I'd rather go down with Darius taking all these shots and trying to get us back in the game, and he just couldn't do it. He just couldn't do it. And the final thing is now Donovan Mitchell. And we all sit here We know the max that they can offer him, the bird rights, the $209 million that's on the table, the scuttlebutt about a shorter contract. He's gone. He's gone. Okay. I know that he sounds like is one of the players that also voiced some displeasure with JB Bickerstaff. Sure, that seems pretty consistent right now. I think what Donovan Mitchell viewed of seeing this team sometimes actually step up when he was out makes it actually that much more frustrating. It'd be different if the Cavs just sucked and they weren't any good and Donovan was the only good player on this team. He'd probably leave then too because he goes, I'm sick of shouldering this crap. When he watches games that he sees Max Strus shooting and he sees Evan Mobley now, and he sees Darius Garland actually put up some points, not last night, but in game 4, does that not frustrate you worse? To go, where was this when I was healthy? Where was this in some of these playoff games against Orlando? And when it just circles as much as it is, I got some smart ass on Twitter yesterday trying to ask me why I think why Donovan Mitchell is going to leave. And I said, well, number one, I have reports that NBA executives are lining up their offers. I got another one this morning from Zach Lowe. Austin Reeves and 3 unprotected picks for Donovan Mitchell. Would you make that move?
Hell no.
Okay. So we start there. I've heard Miami. I've heard Brooklyn. And part of this, yes, is where Donovan wants to go. So that's number one. When I start to hear that in the NBA circles, they're preparing for him to leave, I'd imagine that's a pretty good piece of nugget information right there. Then I flip to the other side, and I get to the dysfunction. You mean everybody might have just figured out what the dysfunction was last night with Sham's article? Donovan Mitchell was living that, bro. He was living that. So if you're telling me that this organization is on a level of dysfunction right now, that level of dysfunction with the players that you have just got you to the second round and a gentleman's sweep on out. You have the option to not play here anymore. You are a star player who has yet to win a championship. I wouldn't stay.
The only thing is, though, with Donovan, if, let's say he doesn't sign an extension, you still have the rights to him, obviously, this year.
They are trading him away.
I understand. No,
sure.
Right.
Okay.
So
right.
here's the problem, though. If you're Donovan Mitchell, one, why would you sign the extension? Because you can just, if you're in the scenario where you're going to give him one more year, you're going to say, JB's gone, trade Darius Garland. That clearly doesn't work. We need something that can work. I'm the main focus of attention, me and Mobley, okay? You don't sign the extension, but you ride out into the next season. And then, yes, the Cavs probably won't let that ride out because they don't want to know. But if Donovan Mitchell, if that does happen, then he's missing out on $70 million if he doesn't re-sign with the Cavs.
And I think what you're talking about is right.
Money.
That's a lot of money for a guy coming off his most injured season. Now, my comeback would be he is entering the prime of his career. There will be another deal there for him after this season.
Yeah,
there will be another deal.
You're weighing
you're playing a game. I get it. You're playing a game. You're certainly playing a game. And it comes back to, the what does Donovan value the most? The ultimate question, and probably if I'm sitting here this morning and Donovan Mitchell sat down with me and he goes, what do you think, Matt? And I would go, Donovan, can you win a championship here? Can you win a championship here? Now, that is an onion of a question that you got to peel some layers back like Shrek, okay? Number one, can you, Donovan Mitchell, as the number one guy on a team, win a championship? From some of the efforts that I saw, I would believe so. Then you ask yourself, with this collection of team, that you're right, Ryan, will not be the same next year. There is no way in any world the Cavs are running it back with what they have from a player standpoint and certainly from a coaching standpoint. So you ask yourself, is there enough out there to get you over that hump? Is there enough out there this offseason? Is there enough in a return from a Darius Garland trade? Is there enough to get Brandon Ingram here? Is there enough to get you there to winning a championship? And I don't think so. So all of these factors start to add up. Where if you question if Donovan can even be a number one, which I think he can be. I think he'd be a number one guy on a championship level team. I do believe that. But you're going to need that team to meet you. I guess here's kind of what I'm saying, right? I think Jokic, well, maybe not Jokic. Like, let me go back to an unfair comparison. LeBron, right? LeBron was up here. He could deal with a team down here because that's how damn good he was to get to a championship. I think Donovan Mitchell is here, and you need your team to come up here. The question is the Cavs enough of a riser to close that gap to being a championship team? I guess a more apt comparison, no joke, is Jason Tatum. I don't see Jason Tatum taking some of the Cavs teams that LeBron did to the finals. But what does he have? He has freaking Al Horford, who shot our asses out of the gym last night and made Darius Garland look like a fool. He's got Derek White. He's got Jaylen Brown. He's got Porzingis when he comes back. They closed that gap for Jason Tatum. And that's inherently a shot at Jason Tatum to say, man, you need that gap closed. I don't think they'll be bitching if they're holding up the Larry O'Brien trophy in a couple of weeks.
The problem is, and I hope Donovan still thinks this way, because that's going to be obviously the biggest thing hinging on if he stays or not. But it's, can you meet that level that Donovan needs in order to get us to a championship? And that comes at, okay, you move on from Darius. It clearly doesn't work. You can't roll out two undersized guards. It just clearly doesn't work, especially when your wing is 6'5" in Okoro or Strus. It just doesn't work. You look at the teams in the playoffs, they're long, they're lengthy. You can abide by that when your team is shooting at an insane clip, but we weren't doing that because Max Strus wasn't, because George Niang wasn't. Can you get to a point where you move on from Darius, whatever you get for him? I'm just thinking, and call me crazy, I don't even know if the money would work. I don't know how it would work. But Mitchell signs the extension. You keep Mobley. If you have to move on from Allen to clear cap, listen, he was a rock, but at the end of the day, you need to get more of the ceiling.
Yeah.
Imagine Donovan, LeBron, and Mobley.
Well, okay, let's. You're going down a good path.
I just want to say real quick, that point too, how much better, I guarantee you, does that make Max Strus next year than he was this year?
I like where you're going. Let's go down a path of positivity right now, which I like. Let's give the reasons Donovan Mitchell would sign an extension. Okay, number one.
His team,
it's his team.
We're building around you.
That's not easy to do. It's not everybody lines up. Now, Brooklyn would line up, but this is Donovan's team. That's number one. Number two, I do think he likes it here. I really do. I think he likes the team. He likes the players. He likes the city of Cleveland. Now, again, Dame Lillard said that for a decade out there in Portland, and eventually he goes, all right, I can't do this crap anymore. And I think that is a cautionary tale to some players, right? When you go, you're so invested in a team, sometimes it just ain't going to work. Then, on the court, you saw evolution of Evan Mobley. Was it enough to, it got me salivating a little bit. You know what I mean? It's not like it quenched my thirst, but I saw it and I'm like, okay, there's a little bit there. Is it enough to look at this team? Another path of positivity, Donovan Mitchell could have a hand in which coach you're going to hire. And that gets dicey when people get angry about players picking coaches and things like that. Bro, the NBA, you better have your star player up and up on who your coach is going to be.
But for this quote-unquote dysfunction in the Cavs organization, I think that quickly gets resolved, the majority of it, if you just nab the right head coach.
Well, that's the thing. A change
and
there will...
And even if you have to go even higher, Kobe Altman.
Well, that's another great tweet I've seen from a lot of people this morning, too, about why is Kobe getting a pass and all this?
I don't know why he is either. I understand that there's a part of it. Maybe you brought in these guys because maybe Donovan Mitchell wanted Niang. Maybe that was a thing. But it hasn't worked out. It hasn't. If you're going to start fresh, I don't know. It's clear as day JB's gone.
Well, yeah.
That's not a question. And I wouldn't worry about it for a second if they got rid of Kobe Altman either.
You're talking about Kobe Altman with the construction of the team. Okay,
because
Donovan Mitchell, great trade.
It ultimately falls on Kobe.
Well, it does, but I guess for the people that don't want to give JB the excuse of the injuries, then they would then use that for Kobe Altman. Like, well, it's not Kobe Altman's fault. Like, Max Strus was not supposed to be that bad. George Niang was not supposed to be that bad, right?
But he was.
I know. I mean, the other thing, the regret that you might have on the Darius Garland contract extension, when at the time you couldn't find a single person that said that was a bad idea. In reality, it was. It's because the players didn't hold their end of the bargain up. That gets GMs fired no matter what. Your players don't produce, you're going to get fired as a GM. Kobe would say, dude, I made the right moves. It's not my fault that Max Strus forgot how to shoot. It's not my fault that Darius Garland broke his jaw and wasn't the same guy. It doesn't hold water, though.
That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't hold water.
And there's a possibility where if you had a better GM with foresight, they wouldn't have rolled. They would have looked at Garland and Mitchell. And granted, you wouldn't have got Mitchell without Kobe Altman. Like, that's fine.
Pulled that,
and I wouldn't take that back for a second.
Neither would I.
But I'm trying to think, like, there's other GMs that would have said, okay, these two small guards, watching Darius Garland, he clearly needs the ball in his hand. maybe that wasn't the best fit. Maybe we needed more wings that had length instead of this quote-unquote shooting. And I understand that falls back. You can't predict how bad Max Strus would shoot. You can't predict George Niang wouldn't even be playable.
What did everybody talk about this just past trade deadline? Trade Jared Allen. And at the time, most all of us were like, no, absolutely not.
And you couldn't at that time because of the health.
Right, and that's the thing. You were injured. That's a great point. You didn't have Evan Mobley, so what were you going to do? And that's the scorebook of a GM, which is why those jobs are so hard to do in professional sports. But I will listen to that. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying Kobe Altman. I don't think anybody deserves a pass outside of Donovan Mitchell. That's it. There is nobody that I look at and says deserves a pass for anything outside of Donovan Mitchell. That's it. Now, the other part about this offseason, which makes things so hard, this is a chicken or the egg scenario. Do you wait for Donovan Mitchell to make his decision? Do you make a bunch of moves trying to appease Donovan Mitchell before he makes his decision?
And that's the problem, is because
what are you going to do?
That's the issue, is because you're exactly right with the egg and the chicken, because the Cavs' best chance to get this ship right for the future is build around Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley. Zero question. And can you do that right now?
So then tomorrow,
unfortunately, the Cavs don't have the luxury of doing that right now because they don't know what Donovan Mitchell's going to do.
Then do you come out again tomorrow and say Garland and Allen are gone? They're gone. We're going to take the best deals possible to try to show Donovan Mitchell that these are the right picks. Now, the other big issue in all of this, and again, I've got trade scenarios for Donovan Mitchell. You need impactful guys now. Donovan Mitchell does not give a damn about some unprotected pick in 3 years.
Well, to retrace back to that article with Shams, your point exactly with that, they noted that they felt in that Knicks series last year, JB treated them as a young team that wasn't ready to compete.
Can't do that. Can't do that. And here you are again, sitting at home. You know, again, the JB conversation, I think, is just, there's no point. He's going. And that sucks. I don't want to see anybody lose their job. I, again, was a big JB fan. I still am. I think you've gotten to the point that you can with him and you're moving on. But you start making all these moves on the off chance that Donovan comes back. And the thing is, Donovan is not going to tip his hand in. It's a giant game of poker. Kobe Altman and Donovan Mitchell are just staring at each other right now. And they're waiting to see who blinks. You know, those poker guys that have all their sunglasses on and they sit there and you're just staring at them. You're trying to get a tell, right? Am I going to bluff this? Ooh, am I going to slow play this? They're staring at each other waiting for one to blink. The thing is, Donovan Mitchell's got all the power. Donovan Mitchell has everything on his side right now because he doesn't have to do anything. That's the thing. His power is doing nothing but sitting down. The contract isn't even going to be offered for another month, right? I can't ever remember. Is it June 1st or July 1st? I think it's July. I'm pretty sure it's July 1st. You got a month and a half before you can even talk about that contract.
Do you think it's possible? And I need to find somebody who's very good with numbers. We need a Jack Duffin.
We need Jack Duffin in basketball. Hey, Jack, I know you got a lot going on, but
because I'm just envisioning, and I don't know if this is possible, but a dream lineup next year for the Cavs. Okay, I don't know exactly.
Is he going to say LeBron?
Well, I'm going to, yes.
Okay.
I don't know what exactly you're going to do at point guard. We're going to see if you move on from Darius. Well, sure, that's fine.
Donovan's your point guard.
Essentially, yes.
Yes.
Him, LeBron, or I'll do from 1 to 5.
Okay, fine.
Donovan, Max Strus, LeBron, Mobley. Those four. LeBron would make Max Strus so much better. Like, I can't even imagine how much better he would be.
Oh, LeBron would make Donovan better.
That's what I'm saying. It's a perfect fit.
And I to live in that dream for just a second, when was LeBron always at his best? When he had a point guard. Yeah. Like that's, and I know AD with the Lakers, they won and all that. I go back to, I think the best versions of LeBron I saw was here in Cleveland. Not even when he had Kyrie Irving. Remember when Mo Williams was balling and he was making all-star teams? It's when LeBron and he didn't necessarily have that in Miami, but he had Wade. That was somewhat close. Like that could be an attraction, but the other side of that, you still got to go make that deal. The other issue that is going to be pretty finicky about this, if it starts to get leaked out that Mitchell isn't going to come back, that then also hurts trade value. Now, teams are going to fight. This is going to be a minimum 3-horse race. I think it's going to be Brooklyn. I think it's going to be Miami. And I think it's going to be LA. Now, of course, what Donovan wants is a big part of this. If he comes out, and I shouldn't say come out, but in the inner circles, he says, you know what? I do want to go to LA, and LA, I'm signing a deal with you. Now, it wouldn't be as much money because it'd be a new team and all that kind of stuff, but I'm willing to sign an extension there. Well, the Cavs then sit down with LA and say, all right, well, he's going to come to you. We're going to ask for more. As opposed to Mitchell saying, I don't know where I'm going to go after this year. You're basically then potentially trading for a rental player for a year. And I don't know, maybe some team comes out of the woodwork. I just think so much about Kawhi when he went to Toronto. They knew what that was all about, and it worked out, did it not? But still,
I'm just thinking in that LA scenario, if you're Donovan Mitchell, one, you're passing up $70 million if you do that. Two, you go to the Lakers. Is LeBron still there in this scenario?
I mean, I don't think he would. Well, I mean, yeah, probably.
Then maybe, because in a world
does he take a haircut? Does he take a short deal to save the money to give it to Mitchell?
And in a world where he's not, then one, you're going to the West, which is way harder than the East. That's not a debate at this point in the league. And then two, you're not winning a championship in LA without LeBron.
Yeah.
No shot in hell. You have a better chance in Cleveland.
Well, I mean, there could totally be something where even the Lakers are ready to move. Like, they know the future is not with LeBron. LeBron's playing these games, too. I get it. Maybe they're sick of it. I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. You have got to read so many rooms and all this. The one thing that it starts with is Kobe Altman sitting down with Donovan Mitchell. And when they get back, they're back in town, whether the exit interviews, and seriously, they are going to sit down and have a man-to-man conversation. And I'm assuming it's going to go something like this. Donovan, we are going to move on from JB. Like, that is going to happen, right? Keep that under your hat, but here's where we're at. We want you to sign this extension. We've got it prepared. We'd love you to be here. We understand that you might feel uneasy about that, but just know that we have every push intention. We have one of the richest owners in sports. We are pushing for this, and we're not going to stop that. Even if next year quite doesn't go our way, know that we're never going to stop trying to improve this team and build it around you. We want your input on this. Kind of crazy. He's only been here 2 years.
He's signing an extension. I'm confident.
I don't think so.
I'm confident he is.
I don't
see why you pass up $70 million to go somewhere where you're not going to win.
Because then you're stuck here.
But your chance of building a future here, I think, is better than your other suitors that we're talking about. Because, give me a team, Miami.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler's on the back nine and all that kind of stuff. Do you want to go play with Bam Adebayo? Would you have to trade away Tyler Hero to have him come here?
It's
I don't know.
It's not like a situation that's going to happen where Donovan's going into a team where you have young upcoming stars like an OKC, even like a Dallas Mavericks.
Okay.
Like, that's not going to happen.
No. The other thing, though, and Donovan is going to watch this, what happens with some of these other star players? Where's Kevin Durant going to go? Is Devin Booker leaving Phoenix? Like, as much as the NBA is trying to get away from the big three, it's still a thing where these guys could still team up and they say, we are going to go here. Or there's scuttlebutt of this team going there. Now, to your point, I haven't looked at all the other teams and what assets they have and what draft picks and what salary cap room and all that kind of stuff. Is there a team like Brooklyn keeps coming up, right? Are they laying in the weeds saying they've got all these things and they're ready to spend? Well, Kevin Durant ain't going back to Brooklyn. It ain't happening, right? Does Devin Booker go there? I don't know.
No shot.
I don't think so. So that's something where you still have star players semi-available this offseason. Does Donovan enter that fray? And at the end of the day, he doesn't have to do anything. He could just sit there and what if, and we all know the answer, but let's just say, what if he comes back and he says, I'm not signing that extension, but I'd like to stay?
Well, that's the problem, because then what
do you
have
do?
To battle that,
and you're trading him. You're trading him, and that is the thing. You are going to have to make that really tough decision. To be honest with you, that is Donovan Mitchell's number one. That'd be the best thing for him.
All the cards are in Donovan's hands.
That's all in his hand. The best thing in the world for him would be, I will play this last year out of my contract, and then I'm either a free agent. I am a free agent after this season. And I could pick where I go or I get all this money, that's fine. And I still then get to see what this Cavs team is. To your point, kind of what you're talking about, Ryan, is the future of the Cavs, the health of the Cavs. Because that's another conversation I want to have this morning. Actually, what did I talk about the question yesterday we were going to post? We still have to do that. Do you feel like the Cavs' future is bright? Do you feel like the Cavs have a bright future right now?
If they're able to build around Donovan, yes. If not, then I would say no.
That's not part of the question, right? The question is, right now, today, do you feel like the Cavs have a bright future?
I'm going to operate under what I think is going to happen.
You can operate on whatever you want.
And that's that Donovan Mitchell signs. So I'm going to say yes.
Have a bright future.
So I'm going to say yes.
Put that up at Matt Fontana Show. Drop us a follow there. Appreciate it very much. At Matt Fontana Show. We're up on Twitter, YouTube streaming every morning, and then, of course, on Twitch as well. You can follow our Instagram at Matt Fontana Show for all our clips on IG. Do you feel like the Cavs have a bright future? And we'll get those responses, the same thing that you're battling here with. Well, it depends on Donovan Mitchell. That's not the question. The question is right now today, do you feel like the Cavs have a bright future? You could jump on Evan Mobley and say he's got a bright future. Don't know if I have much else.
Okay, then let's operate for a second. Donovan leaves, and now we're building around Darius and Mobley.
See, now it's starting to creep into me because no matter what, Darius might leave.
So what? You're doing a full rebuild building around Mobley, who's 22 and has not developed as far as we thought was going to happen? You can't do that.
I don't want to do that.
It's not going to happen. There's no way.
Because you're also then going to have to trade Jarrett Allen. There's legitimately a world that it gets blown the up.
I don't see that happening.
You trade Mitchell, you still trade Garland, and you trade Jarrett Allen.
No. There's no way. Dan Gilbert's not doing that right now.
It's got to at least be a conversation, man. As they're trying to navigate what the best future for this franchise is, that has got to be on the table. So I'm not saying it's the number one.
So basically what that is you after John Beilein resigned, okay, you had this JB, which you could probably categorize as a failure of a regime, and now you're going back into a full rebuild. That's depressing.
It's the best you got. Second round was the best you got. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, you could be sitting where Orlando's sitting. They feel really good about where they're at. You feel really good about the future of the Pacers. I don't know if I feel good about the future of the Cavs.
Donovan stays.
And the issue is, I don't feel that way because of what I saw out of this team. I'd feel 1,000 times different or better if I saw something out of Darius Garland. Dude, I'm not going to let this go, and it's completely unfair. The linchpin to this madness is Darius Garland. It's not his fault. This all went to hell in a handbasket because of his year. It's not his fault he broke his jaw. It's not his fault that maybe he's skittish getting down there. It's not his fault he lost his shot. Think about every issue with the Cavs right now, and it all comes back to Garland. Can he turn that around? Can he become the player that he was when he was making an all-star team and signing that contract?
But that's because he didn't have Donovan.
That fixes everything, though.
No, it doesn't. Because if Donovan leaves, you still have fine. You have Darius.
Then you would feel good about Darius and Mitchell playing well together, and you trade away Jarrett Allen.
But
if Darius Garland was playing to an all-star level, you would find a way for him and Mitchell to coexist.
But that's the problem. It's not.
That's why I said it all comes back to Garland. It all comes back to that.
Right, but it's not an issue of can Darius. I don't think it's an issue of can Darius then step up. I
didn't do my hair today. I have a haircut later, so I got to go.
I don't think it's an issue of if Darius can step up next year with Mitchell. I think it's indicative. The only way he steps up is if he isn't sharing the floor with Mitchell. I don't think he can just all of a sudden next year step up and be an all-star guard. He was an all-star guard because he was the primary ball handler, and you know that Darius, we're better off with Donovan Mitchell being the primary ball handler. That was clear this year.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's the same thing with Allen and Mobley. You can't have those guys coexist. That's not the way the NBA works. I mean, it's more likely that two guards make it work than two big men that can't shoot. Maybe. I don't know. And then it's like, is there fallout from this Allen stuff? Again, going back to Shams Charania's article last night, Jason Lloyd and Joe Varden, there's apparently people in the organization that were upset that Allen didn't get a pain injection and get out there and play. Is there carryover from that? Is there... Dude, and I tweeted this morning. You know, with everything we've gone through with the Browns, we should be used to this dysfunction. Like, this is a playbook in dysfunction that I've seen played out over and over and over again. You got front office people bitching at coaches. You've got players questioning the coaches. You have players questioning injuries for other guys. And you have, I would say malcontents, but you have a lot of upset people. That is the playbook for dysfunction. Will that carry over? Are they going to look at Jarrett Allen and will it just always sit? I don't want to name a player because that's unfair. But like a player in that locker room, are they always going to look at Jarrett Allen a little bit different because he didn't get the pain shot and get in there and help them in the playoffs? If that's the case, then you're going to have to move on from Jarrett Allen.
And I'm not buying for a second that people are looking at him that way. This dude played 81.
I hope not.
This dude played 81 straight games through the regular season and postseason.
Right. I don't look at him that way.
And everybody in the core four, they missed an abundance of time. One who didn't, Jared Allen. So
Right.
I'm not listening to any of that right now.
I 100%. The Cavs have got to also make their choice. Who are you riding with, right? Knowing that your answer is Donovan Mitchell. That power is not in your hands. That's not in your hands. So if that is the case, are you riding with Mobley? I probably would. When I saw the little offensive game that I had, a little aggressiveness.
You're talking about picking between.
I'm talking about the future of the Cavs.
It's got to be Mitchell and Mobley.
Well, it's got to be. Well, again, taking out that Mitchell, it's not in your power. It is Evan Mobley. Now, I think Evan Mobley's ready for an extension. And it all just kind of, it hinges on Donovan Mitchell. Does Kobe Altman walk in and say, Donovan, I don't care what your decision is. I'm making moves elsewhere. I'm going to make the moves. And again, that's impossible because the moves are going to be predicated on what Donovan Mitchell does. The question is, do you think Darius Garland is going to get traded this offseason no matter what?
No,
I don't
think so.
No matter what, is Garland gone?
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
No
matter what, is Jared Allen gone?
No.
Okay. And then, of course, we don't know about Donovan Mitchell.
Because if Donovan Mitchell does indeed, like he doesn't sign an extension, so we're going to trade him. That's clearly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Then you still have Darius Garland, who then you hope and pray that reverts back to that guy when he's the primary ball handler. That was the all-star.
Right.
Okay, then you're obviously building around Mobley. Then why would you get rid of Allen? What would that do?
That full rebuild I'm talking about? That reset? If you felt like you built it up and only got to this point in the playoffs, then you feel like it's time to redo it.
If trading Jared Allen truly is the way that you're forced to rebuild around by getting picks or whatever you get for him and build around, then at that point, Garland and Mobley, then yeah, because at that point we've seen what it's like with just those three, and your ceiling's way too capped.
I mean, you look at the Oklahoma City Thunder. This took them, 5 years to get it really turned around there? And that is finding a guy like an MVP level like in Shai, right? But you had to find other picks. You had and there is just such one bad pick sinks you, does it not? One misstep completely sinks where you're at. Are the Cavs staring down that barrel? We're in 3 years. Let's path of positivity, right? Let's say you borderline blow it up and you trade away Allen, Donovan Mitchell leaves, and I will give you that you keep Darius Garland and Evan Mobley. If you make the right picks and get the right moves, in 3 years, you could be where the Celtics are. You could be where the Oklahoma City Thunder are. But there's just a lot in between then and now that you have to have go right. And the other thing, to be negative for a second, this organization, even prior to JB and Kobe, which is unfair, but they've not done that. It's different when LeBron James walks through that door. It all goes back to that fateful night with the draft lottery and the story about Gordon Gunn, right? You know that story quick? So Gordon Gunn, unfortunately, was losing his eyesight. And he won the draft lottery. And Wendy tells the story all the time. He tells it 10 times better because obviously he was there. Wendy said he walked up to Gordon Gunn, and he said Gordon Gunn was crying. He was so happy that they got the first overall pick for the year LeBron was coming out. And Wendy went to Gordon Gunn. He's like, Gordon, you're that happy. It's not like this is like the cure for blindness. And he goes, no, but it's damn close. It all started with LeBron. And even on that rebuild where, yeah, you drafted Tristan Thompson was a nice move. You know, you drafted Kyrie Irving. Without LeBron, I don't think that means anything. So what I'm talking about is a full, true rebuild sans LeBron. And I've never seen that. I'm talking about what the Thunder have done. I'm talking about what the Nuggets have done. I'm talking about what the Celtics have done. Look at all that. Again, just those three teams, what do they have in common? A lot of their stars they drafted. I know the Nuggets traded for Aaron Gordon. They drafted Jokic. They drafted Jamal Murray. They drafted Michael Porter Jr. Why are Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum on the Celtics? They drafted them. They got other pieces, sure. And you could look at the Knicks and say, well, you know, they traded for Jalen Brunson. They traded for OG Anunoby. Sure, okay, maybe. But, like, that's the Knicks. That's different. I guess that fear, right? The fear of the rebuild going bad.
Well, yeah, if Donovan Mitchell doesn't stay, he leaves, then that's a viable option.
I think it's got to be an well, yeah, if he stays, you're not rebuilding, sure.
Sure.
And if that's the number, and the stones that takes, because Kobe Altman is just going and taking his job and he's laying it on out there for you. And that's the tough job of any GM would sit there. Any GM looks like a genius when you make the moves that the Nuggets have, or any of these other. You're signing up for the toughest test of your job, but that's what you're supposed to do. It just sucks, man. It just sucks. Questions up. You want to update those at Matt Fontana's show? Number 1, Mitchell. Do you think he's going to sign it or not? Where are we at?
64 say yes.
Okay. All right. I hope so.
I'm
not feeling. I just, for some reason, I'm not feeling.
So talk me through it.
I just think that okay, one of the reasons I feel like this is different from what you and I are talking about, we didn't live it. You know what I mean? Like, Donovan Mitchell is living it. And I know that even last night, what did you see? Him up and just cheering and putting his arm around, Donovan or Darius and saying, "We got to go, man. Let's go." When you exert that much effort, when you fight through the injuries that Donovan had to, and you know that it's not on you, and you only got gentlemen swept in the second round, that's very defeating. And what I'm saying is, when you put out max effort and you do every little thing that you possibly could, and you still only got gentlemen swept out in the second round, there's a negativity that comes with that. And then you attach it to the organization, where you don't feel good about walking into Cleveland Clinic courts anymore. You don't feel good when you look at a teammate knowing, like, dude, where you been for a month? What's going on here? He could like those guys. He could like Cleveland. I just think this year was so hard on Donovan Mitchell that he says, I just got to get out of here, man. I got to make a change. And if it's a shot at the Cavs, if that's how you want to write it, sure, that's fine. Whatever. And I'd love him, of course, I would love him to stay. And I do think there is a window that he could. I just don't. I'm not leaning that way right now.
But I think if you tell him, if you build around him, you get rid of JB, get a coach he likes. You still have Evan Mobley, obviously, as your other centerpiece. I think he'd be convinced enough to realize that this is a better situation than for me, and I get $70 million more dollars.
Sure,
then where am I going?
Because the money is the biggest thing.
Where's
sure,
he gonna
I
go?
listen. The other question, and what you are then putting your faith in, is that you actually improve this team. What we are all right. What you, me, and everybody are just discrediting in this. You make these moves. Are you sure it's actually going to improve this team? How many people were over the moon about the Max Strus signing? Because there it is. There's our three-point shooter. How'd that work out for you? There is a world that you trade away. Let's say Mitchell says, I'm in. And you trade away Garland and you trade away Allen. Ryan, there's a world that goes belly up. Even as smart as that move makes, and you get Brandon Ingram or you get whoever else, there's still a world that doesn't work. Now, the flip side is, Donovan, he could walk down to Miami and they could blow it up, right? Like, that's sports. Any of that could happen. But we just can't so quickly say, like, oh, yeah, all these moves for Allen and Garland, yeah, they'll improve the team. Are we sure?
Are you sure? I'll say I'm sure that
Are you sure?
I'll say I'm sure it'll improve when you just stick to Donovan being your point guard, and then you get wings that can actually shoot and get a bucket for themselves.
From your lips to God ears, man, to the basketball gods, it's not that easy. It really isn't. And especially when you factor in Garland's massive contract, the fact that Allen will need to get paid again soon too. GMs are not. Here's the other. Other NBA GMs are not lining up to help the Cavs. They're not lining up to say, here, take all our good players for your scraps. I think the message might be out. The bat signal might be out that Darius Garland's not worth a max deal. Oh, wait, he's on a max deal. How many teams are going to line up for that? There's no salary cap relief in that. He's not an expiring contract. There's no team that's going to sign up to help the Cavs out of this hole that they're in. And again, to pull yourself out, you are still void of some assets. They don't have a lot of picks to trade. They don't have a lot of salary cap room to maneuver and make some things. They have two pieces at this point, whether that's Garland or Mitchell and Jared Allen. That's about it. I don't think people are lining up giving you a first-round pick for Sam Merrill. What about Amani Bates? Anybody want him? Like, nobody's going to help you out of this. And that's the thing. for what you have to prove to Donovan Mitchell this offseason to make him re-sign, bro, that is a tall, tall mountain to climb. And I don't know if the Cavs are prepared for it.
I just don't see him turning down $70 million.
Dude, that money will be there. That money will be there. I'm telling you.
But my whole point is, I think he understands, and I hope he does, that where is he going to go that is a better situation? If anything, it'll just be equal, and he's going to lose out on $70
Maybe
million.
he just needs a different situation.
I don't know, for a guy who, I understand that, but for a guy who put up career numbers and already had really good career numbers in Utah, who's playing the best basketball of his life,
yeah,
I see that as a reason to not want to leave.
No, and like, again, and I never have questioned, because another part of the Shams article was Kobe Altman got really mad at JB Bickerstaff right after the All-Star game when he was playing Mitchell a million minutes. And Kobe walked in and apparently lit up JB in front of other people, not knowing that JB asked Donovan Mitchell if he wanted to come out of the game, and he said no.
I'm done with Kobe Altman. I'm done with him.
I think he's getting an undeserved pass this morning. I'll give you that 100%. Is that enough of a shift? Because actually, okay, you want to know why Kobe Altman's going to be here? Do you know what will get Donovan Mitchell the hell out of town fast? You fire both JB and Kobe Altman. That is a rudderless ship, man. You might be saying you don't like the direction that this ship is going. You fire the GM and your coach, you're going nowhere. You're going to wash up on the rocks here in a little bit. That's even worse.
That's it. Depends who you get.
No. Not in this offseason, man. And then, oh, wait, potentially new general manager, maybe has never done this before. Yeah, go ahead and negotiate that Donovan Mitchell deal while you're at it, by the way.
Hence, depends who it is.
I don't have a strong list of NBA general managers available at the moment. Sorry.
Neither do I, unfortunately.
I already looked at coaches available. Budenholzer's off that list. I like Dave Yeager. I'm in on Dave Yeager, former Kings coach. Kenny Atkinson has been thrown around a little bit. I could listen to that. I'd listen to that. But that, I think, is actually probably the biggest reason Kobe Altman's okay right now. Because you can't fire both. If JB was in good standing, Kobe Altman would be out. You can't fire both of them in a pivotal offseason.
All right, so then if Mitchell leaves, can him?
Can Kobe?
That's what you're saying.
Yeah, but then do you go to him and say, hey, you got to pull this trade off for picks and stuff that you won't be here to make? He's not going to make the best deal. You know what I mean?
So then get somebody else to make the deal.
Can't do that.
Why?
Again, bring in a new general manager. You lose all your leverage. You like, at least Kobe I don't want to say been working on this, but he's been preparing for it. I seriously, I'm not saying that Kobe doesn't deserve a slice of the blame pie this morning. He's in there. He's got it. He ain't going anywhere.
But why is he getting this excuse?
I don't even think it's an excuse. I'm not happy with how he handled things either, but he can't get fired. He just can't. Not this offseason. No way. You want to fire him next offseason? Sure. You can't.
So you're going to go into next season.
You have no choice.
With a lame duck GM.
I don't know. Well, maybe it turns out. I don't know. You're already getting rid of the coach. That's done. There is no question. And I feel bad about it. Trust me. That's happening. But even if you take aside what Mitchell is going to do or not, this offseason being again, as I've dubbed, this is the most important season for the Cavs literally in a decade. Probably even more. This is the most important offseason. You can't fire the GM and the coach. Coach, that's done. Because then also, who's leading your search? And again, then get into an issue of if you really think Kobe then be lame duck, do you really want him leading your head coaching search then? I don't know, man. I don't know. And then Dan Gilbert sent the tweet yesterday, right, about the disappointment for all this kind of stuff. Where's he at in all this? Because his health, there's been report, that he has the succession plan in place and all that kind of stuff. I'm assuming he wants another champion, all that. And at the end of the day, Dan's got a lot of money. That you start there. And for as bad as you might feel about the Cavs, they have an owner that's willing to spend and do what is needed to bring a championship back to this town. Start with that.
Just find a way to get me a starting lineup. We'll figure out who the fifth is though later of Donovan Mitchell, LeBron, Max Strus, and Evan Mobley, and we'll be hanging up another banner.
I'd like that. I don't think you're getting LeBron without Donovan being a part of that trade. I don't know if LeBron is going to actually enter free agency. I don't know. I could be wrong.
No, he will 100% because even if he does go back to Lakers, he'll want it restructured. Or he'll want a new deal.
But they can offer him a new deal right now. They could offer him a deal right now if they wanted to.
But I don't know. I have to look into it. But from what I read,
if he's going to go back to the Lakers, he's not going to enter free agency. He's just going to sign the deal with the Lakers.
From what I read, I don't know, because I don't know all the numbers and stuff, but it made the most sense for him to opt out regardless.
Oh, no. Yes, he is opting out 1,000%. What I'm saying is for him to actually enter free agency is what I mean. Because they'll do that at the same time. They will literally, if LeBron went to the Lakers, is it Sam Presti? No, he's not there anymore. No, wait. No, where the hell is Sam? No. It's not Rob Pelinka anymore either.
Jeannie Buss?
Well, she's like the owner. Oh, it is Rob Pelinka. He is still there. He could sit down with Rob Pelinka tomorrow and say, hey, man, I want to come back. And they'll go, fantastic. And in one fell swoop, they'll go, hey, LeBron has opted out of his final year of his deal, and here's his new 3-year max deal. That's some coin to cut for 40-year-old LeBron, too.
Just to me, the thought of him coming back to Cleveland, having Mobley and Donovan Mitchell to play with is such a perfect scenario for him at his age right now. Plus, if you draft Bronny and bring him here, to me, it's a perfect storm.
No, I get it. And that's the thing. LeBron is smart enough to know what he needs. And we're discrediting this a little bit. Did Evan Mobley show enough that he would be like a bright star for somebody like LeBron to look at and say, I'm a little intrigued by that guy?
I think so.
I'm a little intrigued by that guy.
I think so.
Sure. Mobley is the one that you know nothing is happening. Again, whatever Sham said in that article about him not wanting to come here, too bad, man, you're here, or whatever. Evan Mobley is here. He's the one you don't question. And I do think if I had to have somebody step up in the playoffs to show me a little bit, that would be the key piece. Because that then is certainly intriguing also to Donovan Mitchell. As we try to come up with a lot of the reasons for Donovan to stay, pretty high on that list has got to be Evan Mobley. And maybe this is the same thing with Allen as it is Mitchell and Garland, right? Hey, we're going to trade away Jared Allen. That's really going to unlock Evan Mobley here. And there's that balance of him being a great defensive player. I think you default to say, bro, show me what you just did when you're backing guys down. You know what I saw last couple of games? A pissed off and angry Evan Mobley. That's what I want. I need him to keep putting weight on because there's been a lot of discussion about his body, man. He's got it. He got to put on another 20 pounds.
LeBron will put 30 on him. He'll get him in the gym. He'll get him right.
He needs to be like LeBron, like that. And there's a builtness to LeBron. He's one of a kind.
But I mean, at the same time, go look at Giannis when he was younger. He looked just like Evan Mobley.
Giannis took 5 years to become Giannis. Yeah. I get it.
Kevin Durant. I mean, he's still slender, but go look at him when he got drafted.
And I see the stuff on Twitter about the Tim Duncan and the unicorn thing with Evan Mobley. Man, I get it. I'm still very high on it. I never wasn't high on Evan Mobley, to be honest with you. And I know this year wasn't maybe the steps forward that you wanted from an outside game. I still have a lot of faith in Evan Mobley. And I think there is development to be had with his outside shot. I'm fine with him shooting 3 or 4 threes a game. That's cool. I'm good with that. I'm sure. But I still don't want to lose that post presence. So again, of all the issues that I have, I'm good with Evan Mobley. I'm fine. People want to freak out about this. The same thing. I'm fine with Jared Allen. I know what he is. I know what he does. He's got a place, and he got hurt. I don't give a damn if he took a shot or not. He didn't want to. He couldn't play. He wasn't going to play. Whatever. Oh, man, that's defeatist because he knew it was going to. Sure. Garland, I have issues with. Strus, I have issues with. Niang, I have issues with. I mean, you had to rely on Marcus freaking Morris to go off for 20 for you to even be in a game. That's it. I just, coming back to Mitchell, man. How does he view things? And he knows more, because the other thing, he knows deep down what the real issues are. To your point, okay, another path of positivity here. When you're talking about Donovan Mitchell coming back, and you feel like JB could solve a lot of those problems, like if they're moving on from JB, no question, right? And how much weight does that carry with Donovan Mitchell?
Well, I got to imagine a lot when apparently he's coming out and saying, "What are we even doing these drills?"
So
what was
there
that
you go.
For?
So if Donovan Mitchell, who would know as well as anybody, were these issues a scheme X's and O's issue or player issue? Because if it's a scheme X's and O's problem,
it's both. But
does the new coach solve it? Like, I guess when you look at Darius Garland and how poorly he played, is it just because he lost his shot, or were they running plays that he wasn't, didn't work? Now, me sitting on my couch watching, I saw open shots that just didn't fall early in the Celtics series. I saw plenty open shots. So I would assume, being the idiot that I am, that the plays worked. If you got open looks, then the play works. You got to hit your shots. And then again, do you feel like Garland will come back? Will these guys show? It's why this is just going to be a hell of an offseason, man. It's going to be long. It's going to be long. You got to wait for the finals to even end before you start getting to some of the stuff. To me, you got to wait to see what the draft looks like for you.
To me, it's either it's option A, which is the preferred route. Donovan stays, and you can actually build around him and Evan Mobley, and you get a true point. You run your point guard. You get wings that actually have length and size, and can also get a bucket. Or Mitchell leaves, and you're forced to trade Jared Allen. You have Evan Mobley, and you either tank it all up and trade Darius Garland too, or you try and salvage whatever you can with Evan Mobley and Darius Garland being your best players. And to me, those
are the options.
At that point, I'd rather just blow it up and trade Darius too, honestly.
So Zach Lowe was on Get Up this morning, and he said it is time to freak out with the Cavs, but he also threw out a Lakers trade of Austin Reeves and 3 unprotected picks. The overwhelming response on Twitter is absolutely hell not. No. There's some people that say, oh, that could be the best player you could get back or anything like that. Yeah. I mean, you're not going to have a lot of great options. Regardless of how you want to play this out, or regardless of how you want to approach it, you don't have a lot of great options staring you down right now. And it's going to be on Kobe Altman to make some chicken salad out of some chicken crepe, because that's where you're at. And you have some pieces, not a lot, and the entire weight of the franchise hinges on your decision. Best of luck.
Donovan stays. We'll be fine.
All right. It all starts there, man. It all starts there. All right. We got to talk some Browns. Schedule release comes out yesterday. Listen, I love the Big Lebowski as much as the next guy, and I love that Pete Weber video. Kind of missed for me.
What?
Kind of missed for me. I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
I don't know,
man. There was something about it.
You are crazy.
It just, you want to know what it was? I feel like it was a great idea when somebody sat down and pitched it in the marketing meeting, and I don't know if it actually came to fruition.
It was hilarious.
I don't know if I liked it.
It was hilarious.
The thing is, everybody's chasing the Titans, right? Now, this year was not nearly as good as last year. You can never recreate that magic. The Chargers one of the Sims and Ripon Harrison Butker, that was kind of fun.
I originally said the Browns had a better one, but then I went back and really watched it, and I was like,
Sims one.
I was like, this is the best video.
Oh, and it's become a little competition. It's become a little competition on your video release and all that kind of stuff. So that aside, which I think there's a rich bowling history here in Northeast Ohio. Go talk to Dennis Manilow.
You thought the Browns one was bad? Go watch the Dolphins. That was horrible.
Which one was that?
It was horrible.
I don't know if I saw it.
It was Tyreek Hill and Raheem Mostert, I think it was, at a computer, and they went on their whole niche of being the fastest team. So it was literally them typing on a computer, and then they just did the schedule. Fastest team in the NFL. It was so bad.
Okay, there was another one that I watched.
The Kansas City Chiefs just did a hydraulic press.
That was kind of dumb. Not that one.
I thought that was dumb.
There was one.
The Bengals one I thought was dumb.
Which one was that?
They did like the kids. They were all running around. Like,
oh, I did see that one. That one was fine. That wasn't so bad. There was one that stood out to me that I just thought wasn't. Oh my God, who was it? It was not good.
The Bills, they did like LeBron for every team.
Okay, that one was weird.
Stupid.
That one was weird.
And then they did somebody did like Vines. It was stupid.
Maybe that was the one I was thinking. Maybe that was the one that I was thinking, because there's something about memes. Now I know the Browns did that where they did a bunch of funny memes for their opponent. Yeah. There was one that just completely missed, and they tried to do. I think that might have been it.
Yeah, so bad.
Yeah. Who was the one that they? I think it was the Chargers again, that they took shots at Kyler Murray and his height. The Pop-Tart one.
They did. Yeah. Did you see what they did for the Browns?
No.
So I didn't understand the joke, and then somebody explained it, and I think that was their intention. So for the Browns, they did the Pop-Tart where it was just crust, right?
Yeah.
And it had no filling, and I think they were taking a jab at the Browns, saying the Browns defense is all edge and corners. That's it.
Oh, okay.
I was like, if that's really what they were doing, that was clever. That was clever.
That's third level type stuff.
I saw somebody tweeted at JOK. They said, "Bro, put this in your bulletin board."
Yeah. Schedule for the Browns worked out pretty well. I know it was leaked hours ahead of time, all that kind of stuff. You know me. I care about the bye. You're right in the middle. Week 10. That is perfect. Thursday. Okay, so you got 2 Thursday night games, which are really awesome, right? Other than not the Steelers and the Bengals. You get Sunday night against the Dolphins. Why the are we going to Denver for Monday Night Football? Why did the Broncos get a Monday Night Football game? I think that's super weird.
They always do, though.
Now, you stare down the barrel of those final 5, man. Even 6 out of the last 7. Week 12 to 18. Steelers, Broncos, Steelers, Chiefs, Bengals, Dolphins, Ravens.
Sounds like 6 wins to me.
I hope so. I love everybody who does the schedule game. Doesn't always come out like 14-3 or 15-2 or
Every
something like that.
Every team at least has 10 wins.
Oh, everybody does. The thing is, you start with you start with the Cowboys. Okay. Then you're into like I would say toss-up game with the Jags.
No.
You should beat the Jags. I'm a big Trevor Lawrence guy. You know that. So I think they're going to be better this year. You then enter a streak where you have to have 3 straight wins. You have got to beat the Giants. You have no excuse to lose to the Raiders. And you have got to beat the Commanders. That is like the thing with the schedule is always going to be runs. I always look at 4 and 5 game stretches. The first stretch that I look at is exactly that. Your Giants, Raiders, Commanders, and I'll give you Jacksonville and the Eagles. That's a 5-game stretch. I need a minimum of 3-2 there. Minimum 3-2, if not 4-1. Then you get the Bengals, Ravens, Chargers going into the bye. Be nice to go 2-1 there. You better beat the Saints, and then you begin the most important stretch. The positive to take out of that is you hope Deshaun Watson comes back to form by then. I'm not one of these people that are ready for him to come out the gate, firing. It's going to be a tough game against Dallas. Trust me. And you and I debated that about Micah Parsons and having to face him right out of the gate. You start with Dallas, big game. You then enter stretches where the pressure is on to win. Because if you start entering post-bye saying that we have, 7 games and we got to win 5 of those, you got to put some hay in the barn early in this season. You got to show me a stretch of football here early in the season to prepare for what is going to be after that bye. The strength of schedule is so hard. You have the toughest road to go. In a year that you're unknown about Watson, there's these reports about Chubb that I don't even want to give credit to because I have no idea. There's videos of him running, whatever. I would have liked, here's the only gripe that I would have. I would have liked one of those Giants, Raiders, Washington game. I would have liked that later. You know what I mean? Like where you have the Chiefs in week 15, the Bengals in week 16. I wish we could have flip-flopped those. I would have rather have had an easier game put a little bit later and a harder game kind of put up there. So it's a little even. I think the Browns schedule is top heavy, where the first half of the season is very clearly easier than the second half. Very much so. And it's because you got that 3 stretch of games against teams that you should beat up on. And again, whether it's Jacksonville, you could throw them in there too. But it just comes back. There was never going to be an out. There was never going to be an easy route for the Browns to go with this. The good news, you're not going international, which is great. The other good news, you got the bye right smack dab in the middle. And there is something to be said that you get that Thursday night game. So here's how it goes. Another positive about the schedule.
Thursday to
you
Monday.
go bye, then you go Thursday, week 12, and then you go Thursday to Sunday night. Actually, you're right. Thursday to Monday night, and then your other Thursday game is Thursday to Sunday night. That helps a little bit. So as far as the schedule of the primetime games, helped you out a little bit, where the bye week helps, but the ordering of the teams, it's a tough one for the Browns. That's a tough one to go. And you play the schedule game. Dallas, what the hell, win. Jacksonville, loss.
No.
I'm just got to give you one.
Hell no.
Giants, Raiders, Washington wins. So that's 4 wins for me.
5-0 right there.
Eagles fall. I'll split with the Bengals and the Ravens. That's 5. I'll give you a Chargers win, 6. Bye. Saints will be a win. Broncos will be a win. Split me with the Steelers. Get me 1 on the way out for Kansas City, Cincinnati, Miami, and Baltimore. That gets me a 10. Give me 1 more to 11. Okay.
12.
Rule of thumb. Remember this. They will lose a game they're supposed to win. They're going to win a game they're supposed to lose. That's just how the NFL schedule works out. It's like baseball. The old saying in baseball is you're going to win 60 games, you're going to lose 60 games. It's what you do with the other that tells the story. 60, 60, and 60 is 182. You will win 60, you will lose 60. It's what you do with the other 60 that tells your story. That's the same thing I look at the Browns. I look at any NFL schedule. Your division games, rightly so important. A lot of them back end. That's fine. That is kind of crappy, though, that we don't get a division game until week 7. I don't like that. That's another reorder I wish we would have had, is if we had a division game a little bit earlier. But schedule overall pretty good. Again, I'll put them around 11 wins. I think everybody does. Everybody's got double digits. You see how it plays out. All right, let's catch our break in the morning. First one, we'll tell you about Tipico coming up. Guardians back in action today. We'll get to that. PGA Championship underway. We got Spieth, Schauffele, and Hovland out there. Rory's 2 under 2. So we'll get you an update on that. We'll get geared up and ready to go for the morning update. And our grid, time hop, all of it right here, folks. Tipico is where we bet. Manzardo boost still going on. We take on back at home those Minnesota Twins. But is that not tomorrow? It is. So they're not in action tonight.
Tomorrow's debut of the City Connects.
Oh, that's right. City Connect jerseys. That's right. So remind you about our boost going with Manzardo. We'll do that tomorrow. We still have NBA playoffs going on, and you can get involved for new customers. Here's what you do. New customers, you go to Tipico, download the app, use the code Fontana150 when you sign up. You deposit $150. I know it's a big ask, but you'll get it back. You will get 2 $75 protected bets in your account, and you're off to the races for your cashback rewards, the boosts, the parlays. It's all there with Tipico. Use that code Fontana150 when you sign up for new customers. Terms and conditions apply. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Get into the games for tonight. What boost we got cooked up here? Let's see. I think the Knicks close it out, by the way. So go ahead and take them. Tipico loading. Here we go. Okay. NBA. Nuggets, Timberwolves. Actually, that's the only game tonight is Nuggets, Timberwolves. Timberwolves are a 2-point favorite over the Nuggets. Do you think they close that out?
Yeah.
Okay. You want some boosts for that one? Here we go. Timberwolves money line over 2.5 or 204.5 is 222. Michael Porter Jr. to score 20 points is 268. Wait a minute. Wait. No. The Pacers Knicks. That's not tonight? No, I guess not. No, it's not. Because they have a boost between Karl Anthony Towns and Tyrese Halliburton for tomorrow. But some boosts up there. Timberwolves minus 2.5 over 204 plus 263. It's all there with our friends at Tipico. Get signed up today. I'm on my way to another cashback reward right there.
Giants just released maybe the ugliest uniform I've ever seen that they will be wearing 2 times this season. I'm throwing it on the screen for you.
What is that?
That is a top 5 ugliest uniform I've ever seen.
What is that? That's not even their team colors.
It is.
The Giants?
I mean, they're red and blue.
I guess.
More so, they went away from the red.
That's disgusting.
That is one of the.
Are they going to play that against us?
That is one of the ugliest uniforms I've ever
Yeah,
seen.
man. Tom Pelissaro said that's the best throwback of the year, maybe.
No.
I kind of disagree with you, Tom. I don't know what to tell you. All right, let's catch our morning update. Plenty to come. Stay with us. Fontana Show right here on Big Play.
Well, how do they know I'm doing this? Did somebody leak this out?
It's social media.
Oh.
It's just, that's the way social media works now.
I thought maybe you were just running that yap.
Welcome to Big Play, a sports media team that started back in 2014, and now we're not in a garage. Look at us, incorporating some of Cleveland's favorite sports personalities, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland. Coming to you live from the shores of Lake Erie and Burke Lakefront Airport, join Team Big Play for all the best sports talk in Ohio. Check us out on social media at Big Play, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland.
Anthony Schlegel, just how physical he was. And then you saw the girth and the power and everything he was bringing to the table, especially when he was a nice beefy 255 playing middle linebacker.
We were called soft last year. You don't want to be soft, especially when you come to the playoffs. So that's going to be a process throughout this season of establishing us as a harder team here in the
How does an Ohioan build the perfect parlay?
Who's got something? Big guys looking for long odds. The kids in Columbus are covering better than anyone, and at even odds. If it's even, I'm leaving. Listen, our championship DVD starts today, all right? Dude, I just got an invite to a Cincy playoff watch party. Shut up. Cincy, State, Cleveland, the perfect parlay. I'm a genius.
For the best odds on Ohio sports, bet with your cojones.
It is Spanish, dummy.
Bet with Typical Sportsbook.
I don't buy into this nonsense, this conspiracy nonsense that he's got his money and he's dogging it. That's ridiculous.
Let's get to a morning update. A lot of Cavs, a lot of NBA. Justin Thomas starting to pour it in. Schauffele out to a lead at the PGA. I love being able to watch major golf throughout the day. I've actually kept it on the rails, right? I thought it'd be a lot more distracted.
I will be going home today. This Matt knows this is my short
day for
I'm
Ryan.
Go home, kick back, and watch some golf.
I will certainly do that. I got a haircut in line. That's why I wouldn't do my hair today. But I appreciate everybody understanding on that. But let's get to it, Ryan. Morning updates and our afternoons right here on the Fontana Show.
All right. Well, now the Cavaliers can join us by kicking it back. Unfortunately, they lose to the Celtics in Game 5, 113-98. Celtics win the series. They move on to the Eastern Conference Finals, Matt. But now a ton of more questions than answers for our Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's not going to be quick. They're going to move on from JB Bickerstaff next week. I'm calling that. I just think that's what's going to happen. And then you'll be in a waiting period of hearing about these coaches. I mean, look at the Lakers. They fired Darvin Ham like a week ago, more than a week ago, right? They still don't have a head coach. Mostly they're waiting for JJ Redick to get done with all of his media obligations, but like, you know, you still have to interview other people and try to fill out a coaching staff. So that'll be number one. And then number two, you're waiting on Donovan Mitchell when he doesn't have to make a decision. Because the other issue is, for Kobe Altman to try to sit down with Donovan, and I believe that Donovan understands this, he needs a decision sooner rather than later, right? You don't want this held up for weeks, but you also can't go to Donovan Mitchell and give him a deadline and go, bro, I need a decision by this date. You know, they can offer the contract starting on July 1st, but like, he doesn't have to sign it that day. You should have clarity by then. So what I'm saying is, it's going to be a long 6 weeks, man. It's going to be a long 6 weeks. You still have the NBA draft, which the Cavs do have a first-round pick, by the way. It's a right swap with the other team, but they're probably not going to do that. So, like, it's going to be a long 6 weeks of reports, and this team's going to offer this, or Kobe's talking. Like, it's going to be a long grind of the offseason, and it'll start with a move at head coach. And from there, just buckle up, buddy. Don't know what to tell you.
All right, well, Matt, the Browns went bowling as they released their 2024-25 schedule, highlighted by 4 primetime games, special appearance by one Pete Weber, and you are absolutely insane for not liking that schedule release.
Was it Rodney McLeod that slid the whiskey across at the bar? Was that him or Juan Thornhill? Whoever it was. Why was that not a White Russian?
Wait, behind the bar, he was like...
Yeah, and he slid the Browns cup, and it was whiskey.
Who'd you think that was?
Who was it?
I thought it was... I didn't recognize him, but I don't think it was McLeod, or who'd you say?
Juan Thornhill? I don't know. I mean, whoever it was.
Yeah. For the Raiders, wasn't it?
Maybe. I can't. Yeah, exactly. The team that was. Why was that not a White Russian? If you're doing Lebowski, if you're dueling bowling, we got a little Lebowski reference. Why was that not a White Russian? What a miss. Didn't hit for me. Now, some of them were just straight trash. Like, I think the Titans one was not nearly as good as it was last year. You're always chasing that glory again. There was somebody that was just really bad. NFL team schedule release videos. Okay. USA Today ranked the videos. This is Jordan Mendoza. So it's just what he thinks, okay? The Cardinals were number 30. Will this thing freaking load, man? Broncos were 31 with Lewis Hamilton. The Giants, man on the street. The Dolphins' fastest one was bad. Saints were bad. Packers not good. Oh, man, whose was it that was just... Bengals were 21. Colts weren't good. 49ers was weird with just Nick Bosa out on his boat. Okay, fine. Chiefs, they put the Browns at 16, so dead smack in the middle here.
Bad rating.
The pizza thing with the Jets, not good. I guess the one that the Jags when they did X-Men, like the throwback. That one was pretty cool.
Were the Chargers number 1?
I'm assuming so. Panthers was the painting thing. They were 6. Titans were 7. Oh, Dallas, where they called a bunch of famous people that were fans of the other teams on FaceTime. That was 5. Atlanta 4. Pittsburgh was, assuming they were 4. Philly was 3. New England was 2, and the Chargers were 1. I can't remember the one that I saw.
I need to go watch all of them. I've only watched a handful.
Well, go to USA Today. They literally have all the videos linked right there and ranked out for you there. Browns right in the middle. Sure, fine. Okay, whatever. Give me the schedule. I loved Reflux tweet too. He goes, nobody cares what your schedule game is. Nobody cares about what you play or what you not. He's like, go the frick outside with me.
All right, well, the Guardians lost one last night to the Rangers, although they are off today, but starting tomorrow is the beginning game of a 3-game series. Very pivotal against the Minnesota Twins. Also notable tomorrow is the debut of the City Connect jerseys.
Jerseys are fine. Smack the Twins around. I don't want them thinking that they're a part of this. You're in first place. Now is the time that you understand who these teams really are. We're getting close to Memorial Day. That's usually a big pillar, the first post, if you will, of the baseball season. I like where the Guards are at. They're fighting through this Quan injury, which I really think, and I know they put up some runs, but I think that Quan injury is not getting talked about enough, about how that just changes the lineup. You know, they put Freeman up there. They're trying some different pieces there. Just hope that, you know, when he comes back, he's the same Steven Kwan. So, navigating that is fine. You're navigating the starting pitching thing, but I just want to I want to remind the Twins a little bit about where they're at, and they're clearly in second in this division. I'm a little worried about the Royals. I'm watching the Twins and the Royals. So the two teams I'll keep my eye on. Try to play this on out. Get it done, Guards. Back in action tomorrow.
All right, well, the PGA Championship is officially underway as we speak right now.
Struggling, man.
Leading right now is Xander Schauffele, -4 through 7. Notables are Rory McIlroy, 2 under through 5. Tiger Woods, +1 through 6. Matt, who you got winning this one?
So I put some money on Schauffele. I got a little bit on Max Homa, Colin Morikawa. I put a couple bucks on Jason Day. I feel like he's been playing well. And here's my long shot. Because I always throw some money on a long shot kind of guy. Denny McCarthy. He's top 30 in the world. He's been playing well because, like, a lot of these tournaments, I look at who's playing well. Now, with everything going on with Rory and his personal life, and a lot of people think he's on the single revenge tour now because he's getting divorced and all that kind of stuff, I think that can mess with your mind. Scheffler, of course, you've got to put money on Scotty Scheffler as a favorite. I feel like the dad thing of this, like, it's just such a life change, but he's on this. We'll see. So, yeah, I think you want the big leaderboard. You've got it already. Finau's up there. Certainly Spieth, Schauffele. It sucks for Tiger. He's 1 over, and the putt that I'm staring at, my feed is refreshing. I can't see it if he made it or not, but Tiger looks to be struggling a little bit. Koepka was up there. Hovland was up there. I just love Major Golf. I love being able to watch it. I'll be doing that all afternoon. Rory for another birdie. Nah, he left it out to the right. But still, it's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, well, Matt, the numbers are officially out for Caitlin Clark's WNBA debut against the Connecticut Sun. Viewership peaked at 2.3 million, while averaging 2.1 million. That's the most watched WNBA game on ESPN. This was the most watched game since the Los Angeles Sparks and Houston Comets, averaged 2.45 million viewers back in a 2001 Memorial Day contest on NBC.
I mean, again, you're getting eyes. Now it's like almost... This is the first wave, right? Like, so now you have that. And I even just seeing on my social media of they do the NBA fits all the time. Well, now you have the girls doing that. So, like, you're seeing more social media starting to get picked up, which is great. You've gotten over that initial hump. Now, how do you retain the viewer? I think that's probably the biggest thing for ESPN right now and the WNBA. How do you retain the viewers? You're going to get people going in person to see Caitlin Clark. How do you keep them around? How do you keep that? I think that's going to be the biggest thing for the summer. We got a little news on the streaming side of things. You ready for this?
What's that?
The ESPN, TNT, and Fox, remember they're to do this combined venture for the sports thing? It's got a name. It's going to be called Venue Sports, VENU Sports, and it will debut this fall. So again, it's TNT, which if they don't have the NBA, then what is that point?
Yeah.
And supposedly that's next year. Fox, TNT, and ESPN. I don't know. I mean,
I don't really watch anything on Fox.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I already have ESPN Plus, so I get everything on there.
So, like, would I need that just to watch my daily news, Fox 8 News?
See, here's the thing. I think this is just sports. So, like, if you wanted to watch, like, the only
So,
time...
like, Colin Cowherd and stuff? FS1?
Right, FS1. Like, if you wanted to tune in to watch, Fox 8 News, you can. But you can watch a baseball game. You can watch a football game. Maybe. I don't know. And then you add in Netflix. You add in Apple Plus for baseball. Like, it's just too much. I probably won't get that, though. I already have ESPN. I have TNT through my cable, and I have Fox through my cable. Like, what are they going to charge, too? And especially, TNT losing the NBA? That sucks. That sucks. No offense to NBC. Man, does that suck. You're going to lose an NBA inside the NBA. Ernie Johnson's not leaving. Chuck said that.
Yeah, man.
That sucks.
That's such a good show.
Sometimes the more things change, the worse they get. I don't know.
Well, hopefully not for us.
Hopefully not for us. Here we go.
I always do it. I forget to put on the Immaculate Grid. You can see our Twitter page.
You can see us. My hair, which is just... I'm freaking out about my hair. I hate not doing my hair for the show. It looks slovenly. It looks not great.
We need a makeup artist.
Well, no, the thing is, I'm getting it. Like, I'm literally leaving here going straight to my haircut, so I don't want to put gel in my hair.
Where do you get your haircut?
Sean Gormley. Shout out to Sean and Jason Gormley's. They own the bar next door. Sean owns the bar next door, and he's got the haircut place there. They're the best. I got to get the beard's going. It's gone, man.
You're shaving the beard?
Not shaving, but like very tight. Very tight. It's summertime. It's time for it to go. The hair's got to go. It's going to be short. It's going to be really short all that. So get excited for tomorrow. You'll get there. It's one of those beard kits. Can you even do like... So when I was your age, all I had was like a little line right here.
It's about... Well, I actually get it. It grows everywhere. It's just insanely slow.
That's fine.
And like I don't...
You don't want to get through that process of letting it kind of grow out?
because it takes so long and I look like I'm homeless.
Nothing wrong with that. All right, let's get to it. Immaculate Grid, our statistical category, please, Ryan.
1,000 yards rushing in a season.
Okay. And go.
All right, Bears.
Matt Forte. If he got it, he had to. Just go Walter Payton. Wait. What are the other teams?
Seahawks and Packers.
Okay, Walter Payton's good. LaDainian Tomlinson. LaDainian is a tough name. LaDainian. L-A-D-A. Okay, you got it. Don't put Edgerrin James.
I was just going to put Jonathan Taylor.
Okay, so Edgerrin James goes for the Seahawks. Colts, Seahawks, Edgerrin James. Okay. Colts, Seahawks, Edgerrin James.
How do you spell that?
E-D-E, I think. You got it? Okay. Edgerrin James. Good. Okay. All right, let's open things up a little bit here now. Corey Linsley, former Ohio State Buckeye. Chargers, Packers.
Who?
Corey Linsley. He's with an E. C-O-R-E-Y. Corey Linsley. Thank you. Okay. Why do I feel like there's a Bears-Packers that's just slapping us in the face right now? That I can't think of. Huh.
All right, well, let's move on.
Okay. All right. Let's just keep an open mind here. Keep an open mind as we go. Packers, Colts. Don't think anything there. Seahawks, Bears, Seahawks, Chargers. Richard Sherman doesn't work for any of those. Bobby Wagner went to the Rams. Certainly not Russell Wilson. Matt Flynn, I don't think so.
We try to go to quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is, like, Fitzpatrick is not going to fit any of these. Geno Smith didn't play for the Bears or the Chargers.
Drew Lock didn't.
Drew Lock, no. Like, Packers, like Donald Driver, no. Jimmy Graham. He didn't play in Chicago, did he?
Yeah, he did.
He did. Okay, so then you
I
go.
almost thought about that, but Jimmy Graham played for Green Bay.
Oh, yeah, I know for a fact he played for Green Bay. I think he played for the Bears.
I know he
Did
played
Okay,
for the
so then
Bears.
put Jimmy Graham there. Jimmy Graham goes there. Good. All right, Packers, Colts. Obviously, like, you know, kicker Mason Crosby, Vinatieri played in Indianapolis, but I don't think he ever played for Green Bay. Oh, man. I feel like that's, you know, gotta get that unlocked there. Can't think of any defensive players. Like Aaron Jones is gone, but he's not in Indianapolis anymore.
I'm having trouble with the Seahawks.
The Seahawks? What?
Will Dissly play for the Chargers?
I don't know. It sounds good. I know he played for the Seahawks, obviously. I think he came up. Did he not come up and he's only ever played there? He joined the Chargers this offseason.
Is that what I'm thinking
That's
about?
what you're thinking of. He just joined the Chargers, so he hasn't played a game yet, which is unfortunate.
Matt Schaub?
No, Khalil Mack doesn't work, right? He went from the
Bears to Chargers.
Bears to the Chargers. No, the Raiders. The Raiders were the other team in there. Not that it helps us here, but, like, yeah, those were the three teams that he played for. Yeah. What?
Danny Wood had never played for the Seahawks.
Are you sure?
Not that I
I don't know. I can, like, picture. Damn. No, you're right. Jets, Patriots, Chargers, Ravens. For Danny Wood. No.
Angelo, does Andre Rison work for Packers Colts?
I'll listen to it. If he feels like it does, go ahead and give it a rip. Yeah, give it a rip. I believe in it.
I'm going to be honest, I don't even know who that is.
He former Cleveland Brown. Yeah, Andre Bad Mood Rison.
You said for Packers Colts.
Yeah, Andre Rison. Didn't he?
89 to 2000?
Yeah, that's him. Give it a rip. And all right, let's go. Was it Lisa Left Eye Lopes of TLC? She burned a bunch of his stuff in the bathtub.
I like it.
Pretty sure.
Okay, we got to get the Seahawks.
He dated her, from 93 to 2001. The relationship was rocky, marred by domestic violence. During one altercation in 94, Lopes lit his shoes on fire in the bathtub and burning his house down. She was later charged with first-degree arson for Andre Rison. All right, man. Seahawks. Oh, dude, all right. Why can I not think of it?
Doug Baldwin play for the Bears?
I don't think so. I really don't. Dude, this is going to be... That sucks. I'm trying to think of legacy players, too. Like, Steve Hutchinson, I don't think ever played anywhere other than Seattle, right? Steve Largent, I don't think so. Right?
Who's their kicker? Jason Myers?
Yeah, I remember him. Steve Largent. Oilers, Seahawks, that's it. Now, Joey Harrington? Wait a minute. Wait. Joey Harrington.
Who's that?
Who played for a lot of teams. The Lions. No, he never played in Seattle. Damn it, no. Who's that quarterback?
For what team?
Seattle. It was kind of like Joey Harrington, like Chad Pennington. Something like that on the last name was a quarterback that played for Seattle. Gosh darn it. Damn it. Wasn't Chad Pennington. Hang on. I think we're screwed, so I'm just going to Google. I think we're in a lot of trouble with this. Walter Jones? I don't think he played anywhere else. Seattle Seahawks quarterback history. Oh, man. Tavares Jackson, Matt Hasselbeck. Actually, I think Hasselbeck. Bears?
Should I rip it?
No, it's not it. He played for the Packers, Seattle, Titans, and Colts. So that's not him. Seneca Wallace, Charlie Whitehurst. I think I was thinking of Matt Hasselbeck. That's pretty much who I think that's who I was thinking of. I could have sworn there was somebody else, though. John Kitna was there. John Kitna, I think, played for the Bears.
You're going to have to give up?
Yeah, we had to give up. Yeah, go one last time for the comments.
Matt Flynn.
See, I said Matt Flynn, but I don't know if he played anywhere else. I don't know. I'm fine letting him rip if you want. Sure.
Who?
Matt Flynn.
Or
I guess Bears, maybe. I know he's from the Packers. I know he went from the Packers to the Seahawks.
Did Matt Forte play anywhere else?
I mean, you could try. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's a tough one for us. No. Damn, man. Check those two out. I feel like Seattle's becoming one of our crap teams.
This is Seattle Chargers.
Okay.
Dwight Freeney.
Did not know that.
Geno Smith.
Wait, what? For who?
He was on the Chargers?
Did not know that. Okay.
Interesting. I mean, that's about Charlie Whitehurst.
Yeah, I only Googled Charlie Whitehurst to know. I wouldn't have gotten that.
All right, well, Seahawks, Bears was the other one, right?
Yeah.
Jason Peters. That was the kicker I was thinking of, not Jason Myers.
Jason Peters is an offensive lineman. He's that long-time lineman. Yeah, he's the guy that I know him from Philly. He played for Philly.
Of Jason Myers then.
Yeah, you're thinking of Jason Myers. He wouldn't have counted.
Okay, Marquise Goodwin, maybe.
Yeah.
Brandon Marshall.
Again, I'm thinking
Greg Olsen.
You know what? We should have got Greg Olsen. Damn it. That's all right. Good try on the grid today. We'll try again tomorrow. All right, let's catch Time Hop. Short one today. We'll get back into the Cavs, put a bow on this, get you ready to go for the NBA playoffs and our bracket. Stay with us. Fontana Show right here on Big Play.
Well, how do they know I'm doing this? Did somebody leak this out?
It's social media.
Oh.
It's just, that's the way social media works now.
I thought maybe you were just running that yap.
Welcome to Big Play, a sports media team that started back in 2014, and now we're not in a garage. Look at us, incorporating some of Cleveland's favorite sports personalities, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland. Coming to you live from the shores of Lake Erie and Burke Lakefront Airport, join Team Big Play for all the best sports talk in Ohio. Check us out on social media at Big Play, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland.
Anthony Schlegel, just how physical he was. You saw the girth and the power and everything he was bringing to the table, especially when he was a nice beefy 255 playing middle linebacker.
We were called soft last year. You don't want to be soft, especially when you come to the playoffs. So that's going to be a process throughout this season of establishing us as a harder team here in the
How does an Ohioan build the perfect parlay?
Who's got something? Big guys looking for long odds. The kids in Columbus are covering better than anyone. And at even odds. If it's even, I'm leaving. Listen, our championship DVD starts today. All right? Dude, I just got an invite to a Cincy playoff watch party. Shut up. Cincy, State, Cleveland, the perfect parlay. I'm a genius.
For the best odds on Ohio sports, bet with your cojones.
It is Spanish, dummy.
Bet with Typical Sportsbook.
I don't buy into this nonsense, this conspiracy nonsense that he's got his money and he's dogging it. That's ridiculous.
All right, back into it. A really short time hop today. Not a lot happening this day in history, but we'll run through that, wrap up with some Cavs, send you off tonight for a little bit of NBA playoffs, and of course, everybody getting home and watch a little PGA Championship. So really, Ryan, I got like 5 things. That's it. This day, 1985. I go back all the way to 85 to start. Michael Jordan was named Rookie of the Year. This day, 1954. Ted Williams had 8 hits in a game. It was game 1 of a doubleheader. He had 8 hits in one game.
Good God, how do you even get to the plate 8 times?
I don't know. A lot of scoring, I guess. This day, 1929, was the first ever Academy Awards. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Scientists held a dinner for about 250 people for the first ever Academy Awards. This day, 1866, the U.S. Congress passed legislation for a 5-cent piece, a.k.a. the nickel. You know, we're in this era now where everybody's talking about how, like, physical currency will no longer exist. Everybody jumps on crypto. But, like, I got pissed when they got rid of the coin-operated parking meters. I don't want to download an app. I have a lot of quarters and a lot of nickels and dimes in my car. Can't I just use those for my meters?
Nope. Take them to Coinstar.
Bull crap.
Take them to Coinstar.
Bull crap. I am scared about that. I'm scared about a lot of things about our future as a society, but physical currency on their way out, sure. A very happy birthday goes out to Thurman Thomas, John Sally, Gardner Minshew, Janet Jackson, Pierce Brosnan, Henry Fonda, Megan Fox, Danny Trejo, and Browns long snapper Charlie Hewlett celebrating a birthday today. How about that? All right, 2 movies for you today in history. We go back to this day, 2014. This was a reboot of one of the biggest monster movie franchises in history.
Okay. Godzilla?
That is correct. This was the Aaron Taylor, whatever his name is.
Johnson?
Yeah, whatever. Not bad. Bryan Cranston.
Was that the one with Millie Bobby Brown?
No, she's in the second and third one of like the Godzilla. So it goes Godzilla King of the Monsters, which was really good. Yeah. You got Ghidorah, you got Mothra, Rodan. I'm in for that one. I love that one.
I told myself this week, and I'm gonna start watching all the Planet of the Apes.
Oh yeah, I've heard good things. Then you went Godzilla versus Kong, which I thought I liked.
I liked it.
And now you have Godzilla Kong, the New Empire.
Wait,
I think.
Godzilla versus Kong, didn't they just team up though?
No, that was the first one where they were kind of against each other, and then spoiler alert, Mechagodzilla was
a
the
robot,
bad
right?
guy. Yeah, that was Godzilla versus Kong.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, but now the new Godzilla versus Kong is in theaters now.
And that's actually Godzilla versus Kong?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
No.
Like, it's got that is the son of Kong. Like, he's got his kid. Kong does. I don't know. I haven't heard good things. I feel like people are all kind of tapped out. But the whole point is that first Godzilla and even Godzilla King of the Monsters, awesome. And I feel like I'm missing.
Should I watch that or Planet of the Apes?
I'm not into Planet of the Apes, so I don't know. I feel like I'm missing one. Godzilla franchise. Stand by. Here we go. Okay.
Rick's telling me to watch the 60s one, Planet of the Apes.
Oh, that one's good. Sure, you want to go back to that, that's fine. The new ones, I don't know. I have no idea. All right, filmography. Here we go. All right, so this is American films. That's what I'm looking for. Not the have you seen the 1998 Godzilla with Matthew Broderick?
No.
It's really bad, and there was an animated series off it, but it's not good.
I've gotten told I look like him.
Okay. Matthew Broderick?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can listen to that. We've had that conversation before. Yeah, we talked about that. You're right. All right, so this is the Monsterverse with Legendary. It started with Godzilla, then Godzilla King of the Monsters, then Godzilla versus Kong, and now Godzilla versus Kong, the New Empire. And then the King Kong, when the first one set in the 70s, Godzilla versus Kong, and now this new one. All right. Okay. Godzilla King of the Monsters, Ghidorah, Mothra, Rodan, Muto. Can't beat it. That one was really good. But I like the 2014 one too. All right, then we go back to another film released this day, 1986. Your hint is, following the release of this movie, applicants skyrocketed almost 500% for this particular outfit of the U.S. military following the release of this film in 1986?
1986.
1986.
Can you say the hint again? With the
Okay,
uniform?
so there was a skyrocket.
Top Gun.
That is correct.
I put it together.
There you go. After that movie came out, not shockingly, the U.S. Naval Academy and specifically their fighter division skyrocketed with applicants because they thought they'd be Tom Cruise. Maverick. What do you mean?
That makes sense.
So I've not seen the new one. And
I haven't either.
Friend of mine, Danny Cunningham. Danny would tell Nick and I that Top Gun Maverick is the greatest movie that he's ever seen in his life. But he's never seen the original one. So, I used to just give him a bunch of crap for the fact that I'd never seen Top Gun Maverick, but I still never seen Top Gun Maverick. Now, the original Top Gun holds up. That's a great movie. Great movie. New one, I'm sure it's good. But Top Gun, this day 1986, there we go. So again, pretty short on timeout today, so that's where it's at. We'll get to our bracket coming up. We'll get to our boost for tonight as well, talking a little bit NBA playoffs. We'll get to our picks a little bit. How's it feel now that the Cavs season is over? You know, I thought about a question this morning because there was a lot just to unpack, and, you know, we're going to have weeks to kind of tiptoe our way through this. Would you say this season was a disappointment? And it's hard to answer that question right now.
Yes.
Because we feel so crappy. You have this Mitchell stuff just weighing on you. But in reality, it kind of, like, if I really wanted to try to say that there were positives to take out of this, you had an insane rash of injuries that you still overcame. You were still a top 4 seed. You still won a playoff series. Now, you had nothing to show to the Boston Celtics, which I understand. But, like, if I just looked at the number, almost like if I looked at the box score of this season, and I told you had to miss this many players for this much time, you still did. There's a world that you would say the Cavs are at least on par with what you expected from them this season. But you don't feel that way today. You don't feel it because of what could have been. You saw games in the Celtics series, you're like, man, what could have been if Donovan Mitchell could have played there? What could have been if Jared Allen would have played? What could have been if Darius Garland would have showed up? All those what ifs make it that much worse. That is what pains you more as a fan. Like, I'm sure Milwaukee, they don't feel good about where they were at, but Giannis was hurt. So what do? You throw it up and you say, well, we're losing our star player. What did you want us to do? It's the unknown that kills you more than if your team wasn't good. And where this team pivots from here, we know, vitally important. It's going to be a massive offseason. But I try to find reasons to take away the positivity, Ryan, to avoid the full rebuild. I think if you were asking fans and they were teetering over 2 buttons right now of like blowing it up or pushing forward in the future, A, you don't know how to push that because you don't know what Donovan Mitchell is going to do. And that's the other crappy thing about how we're going to feel for the next month plus is not knowing what's going to happen with Donovan Mitchell. But it's like, if you had a little more direction or a little more feel on where this team was at, you'd probably feel better about our question this morning. Do you feel like the Cavs have a bright future? Results on that, please.
67% say yes.
All right, so about 70-30 almost. People feel like the Cavs have a bright future. Good. That's why you don't blow it up. That's why you keep Evan Mobley here. I don't know about, Garland and any of this back and forth and all that kind of stuff. But if you can just hold on to, you feel like the Cavs are trending in the right direction, then you hold on to that and you hope for the best. Is that enough to sway Donovan Mitchell, though? Is that enough? And I say sway of me operating that he's maybe leaning of leaving.
And also throw $70 million on the table.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of money. Got to cut that check. I got text this morning of trade. Like I'm talking about going to the NBA trade machine and a lot of stuff with the Pelicans.
Let me hear it.
So the one,
I'll be Kobe.
Okay, you be Kobe Altman. Here's the most apt one that I would tell you.
Now, is this operating that Donovan's staying?
Yes.
Yes?
Sure.
Okay.
Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, and 2 first-round picks, one of them from Milwaukee, You give them Garland, Allen, and George Niang. So
I'm giving them Jared Allen.
You give them Jared Allen, Darius Garland, and George Niang.
For what? For
Ingram, McCollum, and 2 first-round picks.
Hell yeah!
You don't even have to think about it.
No.
Don't even need to think about it.
No, that is robbery.
The money works, and you could pick up some picks.
Absolutely.
And Milwaukee's 2027 would be unprotected.
CJ's my first guy. CJ can come off the bench? Absolutely.
He's on an expiring deal, as is Brandon Ingram.
I mean, if we can, but I think if you...
CJ McCollum has 2 years. Sorry, Brandon Ingram just has 1.
I'd still do it.
On the hope that...
On the hope we look good, and then Brandon Ingram's like, I want to run it back with Donovan.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. That's a trade that worked via some of the things I saw this morning. Or again, I couple my buddies kept sending me.
Who's their sponsor? Smoothie King?
Yeah.
They can have George Niang for a free smoothie.
All right. What flavor smoothie?
Anything at this point.
Blueberry? Strawberry?
Anything but blueberry, actually.
What? You don't like blueberry? You don't like blueberry smoothies?
No.
Peanut butter? Throw that in a little strawberry peanut butter? Come on now. You're missing out on that. I mean, that's the thing. I know that it's going to be...
With any other offers?
No, that's just the one my buddies were throwing.
I would take that 100 times over.
Because like the smoke around Brandon Ingram seems to be there. This is Ben Axelrod tweeted this from Windy. I'm assuming he's over with Riz. He says his information on Mitchell extending is all over the place. Some people are totally confident he's extending, and other people think there's no chance. He says he notes about how closely Donovan played things to the chest in Utah and didn't let anything out when he was over there. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I don't want anything. The only thing that serves a purpose for is calming the fans. I don't really care. Like, I know the roller coaster we're about to all jump on. As long as Kobe is in the know. Okay, here's a great question. Do you trust Kobe Altman this offseason? Do you trust him?
No.
Do you trust him with the fate of the franchise in his hands? Do you feel good about that with Kobe Altman?
No.
Okay. All right. Wendy also said Dan Gilbert is significantly involved in the Cavs operations again. Says his oldest son has left the organization this past year after we talked about the succession plan earlier. I thought his son was going to take it over. Maybe his son's going out to get a little more experience before he comes back. But Dan is back, dude. You know Dan doesn't. He ain't sitting around for nothing.
LeBron.
I mean, it's not that easy just to snap your fingers and say we're going to pay LeBron a lot of money. I don't think there's any, like... If they could do it, if he could just pay for it, I think they would. People really do not like the Lakers trade that I put out there a little bit earlier.
That was horrid.
Austin Reeves in 3-1s.
That was horrible.
Austin Reeves in 3-1s. I don't know.
Unprotected.
I know. I'm just saying. But like, as you sit back and really try to come up with what moves makes, like, again, you have to have other teams willing to make trades with you. You can't go to the NBA trade machine and, this trade works, therefore it's going to happen.
I understand that.
And even if you go back to some of the things, you're getting rental guys back on now I know expiring deals can be, very sought after in the NBA. But like, are you just making the moves just for that? I don't know. And again, you're talking about a GM that people are upset with. His future is unwritten. Does he have a contract extension ready to go that he feels confident he's going to be here for 5 years? I don't know.
Yeah, where's Kevin's and Andrews?
That's another. I've been waiting on that. I thought they would have him by now.
Where is that?
Still on a Sean Watson restructure. What did I tell you? I don't know. I'm in for the golf today, though. Does it matter to you if Tiger doesn't play well or even, dare I say, misses the cut?
I don't care.
I don't really care either. I really do not care. I'm excited just to watch some major golf. So we'll get to that a little bit later. Get your bets in on Tipico, folks. You want to do some golfing this morning? Well, I'd love to go golfing, but you want to place your bets on Tipico for the golf? Let's do it. Download the app. Use that code Fontana150 when you sign up. Deposit $150 with that code Fontana150, and you will get two $75 protected bets right into your account. And we're ready to go for the golf. Right now, PGA Championship live. Your favorite outright winners, Scotty Scheffler, Rory plus 550. Xander Schauffele, who's off to a lead, is plus 550. How about some matchups? Sam Burns versus Taylor Gooch. Give me Sam Burns in that.
Taylor Gooch?
Yeah, you don't know Taylor Gooch?
His last name is Gooch?
Yeah, he plays on the Live Tour. He's a smack talker. He's full of crap.
Horrible last name.
Wyndham Clark, Joaquin Neiman, Billy Horschel, Keith Mitchell. Give me Jason Day over Wilt. Can I parlay some of these?
You're gonna bet Jason Day after that monstrosity of an outfit he wore at the
He's
majors,
playing good,
or the
though.
Masters.
He's playing good, though. Colin Morikawa versus Will Zalatoris. Rahm or Scheffler? Just round one. Just round one. Rahm or Scheffler?
Scheffler.
Minus 200. Yeah. Patrick Cantlay, Wyndham Clark. Folks, it's all there right to go. You like that on Wyndham Clark? Yes. You could do two different Wyndham Clarks. One of you. Oh, I better go Denny McCarthy here. I'm pushing Denny McCarthy. He's my long shot. Folks, it's all there. Tipico, code Fontana 150 when you get signed up. Deposit $150, $275 protected bets right into your account. You'll be on your way to the cashback rewards. You'll be on your way to the boosts, the parlays. It's all there with our friends at Tipico. Can I get you a wager for this evening, young Ryan? One NBA game tonight. Do you think the Nuggets are going to close it out?
I do.
You do. So you're going to take them plus 2.5. You could take them on the money line if you'd like. I kind of like the same thing there. Let's get to some trends quickly here. Denver coming in 11-4 straight up in their last 15. They are 4-2 against the spread. Their last 6 games against Minnesota, and 10-5 straight up in their last 15 games against the Timberwolves. You flip it over for Minnesota, 6-3 straight up in their last 9, 6-3 against the spread over that same stretch. Minnesota is 13-4 straight up in their last 17 games when they play as the favorite. But I would agree with you. I'm going to go and take the Nuggets to close it on out tonight. What's that on Tipico here? NBA, that'll get you plus 110. You like that? $10, 21, boom, done, in. And on my way to another cashback reward right there with Tipico. All right, more to dissect from this Cavs season recap. I'm going to reach out to Spencer Davies, try to get him on tomorrow to try to just see where we're at as we enter the offseason. Brown schedule out, fun stuff. Guardians back in action tomorrow. We'll be ready to go. Final thing for us here today, Ryan, our bracket of the week. The finals are set. Please reveal them.
Yeah, a little disappointed. Finding Nemo made
I think they're all the number one
seeds.
Yeah, I think what we would have picked for the number 1 seeds advance there. So you can vote at Matt Fontana Show for your favorite Pixar film.
I'm gonna go.
I'm between The Incredibles or Monsters Inc.
I'm exactly the same. I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna go Monsters Inc. I'm gonna go. We'll differ that. Okay. We'll differ. I'm gonna go Monsters Inc. on that one.
Okay.
Finding Nemo would probably be last for me on that. I would probably go Monsters Inc., Incredibles, Toy Story, then Finding Nemo. If I had to play it out. I've not seen Finding Dory. Don't know if it's any good or not, but that's probably how.
Oh, you missed a very important birthday you have to add.
What?
Friend of Big Play, Jensen Lewis.
Oh, I did see that. You know what? I'm sorry, Jensen. My bad, man. I thought I saw. So, like, as the birthdays come in, like, I try to update as I go. I did. Let me, hang on. Stand by. See, I'm going to add it right now so I have it for next. Charlie Hewlett and Jensen Lewis. You can find Mondays on the Big Play Cleveland Show.
Bring in the heat with Jensen Lewis.
There we go. Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Nice. I like it. Tonight, we got the Big Play Cincinnati Show. Drew Garrison, the Bengalorian. I'm sure they have a lot to talk about with the schedule release for the Bengals. When do we get Boobies World? I want to get tomorrow. Chico coming up as well. We got that all week right here on Big Play. As always, appreciate your support. Appreciate you joining us. And we'll be back tomorrow for another edition at 9 a.m. Schedule grid out. Toughest schedule. Cleveland Browns still, man. I don't think they got hurt by the schedule, but there was a couple things that I don't think they really got helped by either. So we'll get more into the schedule tomorrow. And again, what is going to be an absolutely long offseason for the Cavs. We'll start to break that down. We'll do it tomorrow. For Ryan Tyler, I am Matt Fontana. As always, take it easy.